Everybody, I'm going to show you an online tool called Paletton today. And Paletton is a color scheme designer or a palette designer that artists use when they're creating a website or creating layout for either it could be like a yearbook or a magazine, an infographic, creating animations, logos, print ads, or branding a business otherwise. Or in my case, I might even use it to do some teaching about color schemes or how to use the color wheel. So once you open up Paletton.com, you'll be able to see the color wheel over here with all different hues. And then you can adjust on the screen here different values or saturations. So if we go this way, we can get lighter values, darker values, or we can unsaturate or saturate a color. You can change the color scheme right up here at the top. So this one would be for monochromatic. You can see the colors over here on the right side. And you'll notice when I scroll over the top, it gives me a code. And I'll show you how to use that here in a second. There's adjacent colors, so when you're using 3 different colors in your color scheme. And then I kind of like to click this button and add complementary. So that would add the color across the color wheel from our main color. So you notice that plugged in a complementary color in the bottom right of the screen. Triad, tetrad, and freestyle, so you can adjust how many colors you'd like to use. Let's say I'd like to use triad with complementary. I can change the preview down below to find something that fits or that I find more aesthetically pleasing. Down here at the bottom, I can also go to presets, and it will give me some pre-selected color palettes, different saturations, and different values. I'll go back to colors, and I'll kind of show you how you can rotate and change these. Oops, I better change back. We'll go here. And I can kind of switch these around. I can change the value. Go back to my default. And then a tool that I really like is going to examples, and it will show me some animated examples using this color scheme. Or artwork using the color scheme, or page layout so they can see what it would look like if they designed a website using this color scheme. I told you I'd talk about these codes right here. These are the RGB codes. I recently was working with our yearbook instructor, and she said that every year we kind of use the same colors in the yearbook, and they were looking to branch out, but they weren't really sure how to do it. So I showed her this tool. I did a little bit of online searching. I found a few other websites like ColorSpire, Coolers, and ColorMind. Some weren't as user-friendly or they required a sign-up and login, but I felt this one was a lot more in-depth. So what we can do is go into Photoshop, and I placed our school logo, and I'm just going to use this eyedropper tool, and I'm going to select the color of our logo, and then double-click, and you'll notice right here is the RGB code. So I just do Command-C to copy, and then I can go back into our color selector and go to this base RGB, double-click, and then Command-V to paste and hit OK, and then you'll notice that my school logo color shows up. And then I can change, to monochromatic, change the different range and value, do adjacent colors, and I can help the yearbook staff find a color palette that they feel confident using. Now let's say they've chosen a palette that they would like to use. We'll add that complementary in there. And then I can go to Share Palette, and I can get an ID to send people, and I can send them this URL up top. Or you can go to Tables and Export, and you can export all these different types of files. I like to go to Color List, and then I like to click on HTML. And I really like this screen because it tells the students not only the color scheme, but all the codes. And here's that URL again. But I can also just do a screenshot and on a Mac that's Command-Shift-4, and I can screenshot this and it will go right to my desktop. So then you could send your client or whoever you were designing for, or if you're on the yearbook staff, maybe all the other members on your staff, or you could print it and test it out and see what you think. So right down here at the bottom, if you click right here on this vision simulation, there's also different ways to view the screen. So you could do for colorblind simulation, you can desaturate this gamma simulation. That's kind of a neat tool to have on there. All right, thanks everybody. I hope this was helpful. Paletton.com.